What do you think life is gonna be like afterward? Do you know what I mean?
I definitely think it'll be different. I think she'll continue to walk in her power as she always has.
Wicked co-stars Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are allegedly not speaking to each other.
Wicked fans suspect that Cynthia Erivo's girlfriend Lena Waithe and Ariana Grande are embroiled in a secret feud. While Cynthia and Ariana formed a close bond on Wicked, some reckon there were some telltale clues that point to hidden tension behind the scenes.
Could Lena Waithe have finally exposed something huge? Some people online are now questioning if Ariana and Cynthia's close friendship on set was actually real, or if it was just part of the show. And honestly, this is the question people cannot stop bringing up right now. Think about it for a second. A lot of fans have quietly been wondering the same thing for months. Because seriously, when was the last time anyone actually saw Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo together in public? And no, this is not about those old Wicked promo clips that kept popping up everywhere. I mean recently, like lately. During the Wicked rollout, they were practically glued together. Interviews, red carpets, backstage moments, they were always side by side, holding hands, getting emotional, even looking at each other like they had this deep, unbreakable bond. It was everywhere, non-stop. But then suddenly, nothing. The whole dynamic just disappeared. No sightings, no posts, no new moments together. And people started raising eyebrows real quick, especially when those online rumors began spreading. Some reports even claimed Ariana was allegedly blaming Cynthia for triggering her ED during the stressful Wicked filming period. Then the Oscars happened. One of the biggest movie campaigns of the year was tied to that film, yet neither of them ended up with nominations like many people expected. The whole situation just made the internet talk even louder. And just like that, the same behavior people once called emotional and beautiful suddenly started getting labeled as cringe. The internet switched up fast, and now everyone is looking at those old moments in a completely different way.
But it gets even worse because then Lena posted to her story a quote about relationships that said, "Maturity in a relationship is when you catch your mind creating a false story about your partner, which is based on inner tension." So do we think something romantic may be going on behind the scenes with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, or are they really just best friends that are like sisters?
And here is where things get interesting. Lena Waithe is known to be very close to Cynthia, so if she ever slips up and reveals something, even by accident, people will definitely be paying attention. Now let's be real for a second. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande almost need no introduction at this point, especially after the way their friendship was front and center over the last few months. And who could forget that moment during the Wicked press tour in Singapore? Someone suddenly rushed toward Ariana, and Cynthia instantly stepped in to protect her, no hesitation at all. It looked automatic, like pure instinct. That moment made a lot of fans think the bond was real, not just two co-workers doing press for a movie. At the time, it really looked like two women who genuinely cared about each other. The energy felt natural, like the connection was real and not something being forced in front of cameras. But now, the vibe feels completely different. Recent reports are starting to claim that whatever bond people saw between Ariana and Cynthia has shifted, and that things between them are now strictly professional. One source even said their friendship may have appeared bigger in public than it actually was behind the scenes. According to that claim, they were never truly best friends away from the spotlight, even though it looked that way during the massive Wicked press run.
Kind of doing this in front of the public and kind of,
And that lines up with what some insiders are now hinting at. The word going around is that both of them have started moving in very different directions, especially when it comes to their careers and personal focus. One source even explained that they have basically gone their separate ways. They suggested the closeness fans saw was more about the moment they were in together, not necessarily something built to last long after it. At the same time, another insider is pushing back a little. They claim the situation is not as dramatic as people online are making it seem, and that Ariana and Cynthia are simply focusing on their own paths right now. Some insiders are saying they still care about each other. They just are not talking nearly as much as they used to. And the main reason might be pretty simple. They are no longer promoting the film every single day like before. During the Wicked rollout, they were constantly together. Interview after interview, event after event, always side by side. Once that promo tour wrapped up, everything slowed down. Naturally, they both went back to their own routines, their own circles, and their own projects. That kind of distance can happen once a huge press campaign ends.
Cynthia Erivo's longtime partner, Lena Waithe, holds a bit of a grudge towards Ariana Grande, and she is holding nothing back when it comes to posting about it on her own Instagram. So this is kind of weird, but this feud could have possibly started when Ariana Grande started calling Cynthia Erivo her sister. So back in the day when Cynthia Erivo and Lena Waithe started dating, there's an old Instagram photo of them that's resurfaced with the caption, "Me and Lena Waithe, I finally found my sis. Lena, you're absolutely everything. You are perfection. What a meeting of minds. Glad to have you in my life. Stuck like glue."
But despite that, Ariana did recently show Cynthia some public support. When Cynthia appeared in Dracula for a West End premiere, Ariana reposted a photo of her and wrote, "Congratulations, my brilliant, unstoppable friend." Cynthia quickly shared it back and replied, "Thank you, I love you." So clearly, there is still some level of connection between them. They might not be inseparable like they seemed during the Wicked rollout, but they are still acknowledging and celebrating each other from afar. Still, hearing all this is honestly surprising. During the Wicked press tour, these two did not hold back at all. They were extremely close in interviews, emotional in public moments, and always praising each other. So it makes people wonder, was all of that just part of the rollout strategy? After all, they are actresses, but if that really was the case, they played the part extremely well because a lot of people believed it. And yes, looking back now, some of those moments did feel a little awkward. I'm not going to pretend some of those moments were not a little awkward, because they definitely were at times. But when you look past that, it honestly felt like two women who found comfort in each other during a really intense moment. The Wicked production was huge, stressful, and constantly in the spotlight, so seeing them lean on each other made it seem like they were helping one another get through it. And you already know I'm always rooting for that kind of support between people. Then another rumor started circulating online that made some viewers look at their relationship in a completely different way.
I thought everything was okay with the Wicked cast until I saw this photo. But then I found out that they filmed for both Wicked movies for 3 years. So, I mean, that could have taken a toll on their bodies. But people are concerned for both Cynthia and Ariana because people are kind of comparing it to what happened to Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz. When she was filming for Dorothy, she was put on a super strict diet. I'm talking chicken soup, cigarettes, and some tablets. She had to consume it daily on set to reduce her appetite.
Because certain reports and blind items began suggesting something much more serious. Some of them even claimed that Cynthia somehow played a role in Ariana developing an eating disorder. Now, it is important to say clearly that these are allegations and blind items, not confirmed facts. The reason people started talking about it at all is because many viewers were commenting on Ariana's appearance during the Wicked promo period. And Cynthia did not escape those conversations either. Some blind items started claiming that the two may have developed what people online called a competitive eating disorder during filming. The idea behind those rumors was that being in such an intense environment together might have created pressure instead of support. According to those claims, the constant filming schedule, the stress, and being around each other so much may have made things harder rather than easier. But again, these are still rumors circulating online, not confirmed facts. More recently, though, people have pointed out that Ariana appears to be looking healthier again. A lot of viewers noticed it during the Golden Globes. She brought back her signature high ponytail, and overall, many fans felt like she looked more like herself again. If you compare photos side by side, the difference is noticeable, and for many people, that feels like a positive sign. Even with all these rumors floating around, I personally find it very hard to believe that Cynthia was somehow responsible for Ariana's eating disorder. That is a very serious claim, and eating disorders are extremely complex. They do not suddenly appear because of one single person or one moment. A lot of fans have pointed that out as well. One comment that stood out online said, "Ariana didn't develop an ED during Wicked. She has literally always struggled with anorexia."
Based on the interviews, this was both of their dream roles. So maybe they did have to maintain a certain weight while filming for 3 years, but I don't know.
Not the time, helicopter! little bit of her softness, and she's got
her strength,
a little bit of my strength.
Yeah.
Really sorry.
No.
It just happens.
It's really emotional.
We can't help it. We're trying our best. But there's a lot of emotional things that happen, and we're just going with it.
Yeah, you need to understand. It's
We're
been like
weeping.
3 years, people. There's a lot
We've had to
going
keep
on.
this in for such a long time.
That kind of context matters because while fans and blind items can speculate all day, the truth is we really do not know what was happening behind closed doors during that time. But the rumors did not stop there. At one point, the conversation online went way beyond tension or distance between them. Some people actually started believing that Ariana and Cynthia were secretly dating. Yes, dating. And to be fair, that speculation grew quickly because both of them have spoken openly in the past about being curious and fluid when it comes to identity and attraction. Once people remembered those interviews, the internet took that idea and ran with it. Eventually, the rumors became so loud that Cynthia addressed them directly in a recent interview with Stylist magazine, and she did not hold back when talking about it. She explained that the speculation felt strange to her and suggested that many people simply did not understand how two women could be very close friends without it automatically being romantic. In fact, she said it very clearly. I think people didn't understand how it was possible for two women to be friends, close, and not lovers. Meanwhile, Ariana has been in a relationship with Ethan Slater throughout all of this, and everyone already knows that relationship came with its own wave of drama.
This relationship that you and Ariana Grande have seems very close. You've described her as a sister of sorts. What is this friendship? What's at the core of it?
Deep honesty, that's at the core of it.
And that just happened?
Yeah, both of us seem to be of the same mind. When we first started, she and I had a real conversation about making sure that we were there for each other.
A lot of people had strong opinions about how it started, especially because Ethan separated from his longtime partner around the same time the relationship became public. That situation alone had the internet talking non-stop for weeks, but Cynthia has also been in her own relationship during all of this. She has been with Lena Waithe for a few years now. The two of them usually keep their relationship pretty low-key and out of constant headlines. Still, Lena has shown up publicly to support Cynthia many times, including standing by her at major events like the Oscars, making it clear that they are very much in each other's corner. And that connection is exactly why people started paying attention when Lena Waithe's name suddenly entered the conversation. Because when someone is that close to one of the people involved, fans immediately wonder if she might know more about what was really happening behind the scenes. To be clear, Lena has not publicly exposed anything about Ariana and Cynthia, but the internet loves to read between the lines, and every small comment or appearance suddenly gets analyzed like it is a hidden clue. At the same time, it is also possible that what people saw during the Wicked era was simply two co-stars going through an intense project together. Big film productions can create strong bonds in the moment. And once the cameras stop rolling and the promo tour ends, those connections can naturally shift as everyone moves on to the next chapter of their lives. And that might honestly explain why things feel so different now. During the Wicked press run, Ariana and Cynthia were everywhere together. Every interview, every red carpet, every viral clip seemed to show them side by side, laughing, getting emotional, and praising each other non-stop. When people see that level of closeness over and over again, it is easy to assume the friendship must be just as intense behind the scenes. But once the promotion slowed down, the constant appearances stopped too. No more daily interviews, no more shared press moments, and no more cameras capturing every interaction. That sudden quiet is what really made fans start asking questions.
Of late, Ariana has been on a very noticeable weight loss journey where you guys can see that she does look different.
Because when a friendship goes from being extremely public to almost invisible overnight, people naturally wonder what changed, even if the real answer might be much simpler than the rumors suggest. At the end of the day, a lot of what people are debating right now comes down to perception. Fans watched Ariana and Cynthia share emotional interviews, hold hands during press moments, and constantly praise each other in front of cameras. That kind of visibility made their connection feel bigger than a typical co-star relationship. So when those moments suddenly stopped appearing, the internet immediately filled the silence with theories. Some people believe the friendship was genuine, but simply faded once the intense filming and promotion ended. Others think the closeness may have been amplified by the massive marketing push behind Wicked. The truth is, relationships between co-stars can be complicated, especially when they're happening under constant public attention. What looked like an unbreakable bond during the rollout may have simply been two performers navigating an enormous project together during one very intense chapter of their lives. And this is exactly why the conversation around them keeps coming back. People are still rewatching those old interviews and press moments, trying to figure out if what they saw was completely genuine or if the camera simply captured a very specific moment in time. Because during that Wicked rollout, Ariana and Cynthia did not act like distant co-workers. They were constantly praising each other's talent, getting emotional in interviews, and speaking about the project like it deeply connected them. Moments like that tend to stick with audiences. So when things suddenly go quiet afterward, fans start analyzing everything. Every repost, every interview, every public appearance suddenly becomes something people study for clues. But sometimes the reality is less dramatic than the internet expects. Two people can share a strong connection during a major project, support each other through that intense experience, and still naturally drift into separate paths once that chapter closes. What also makes this situation interesting is how quickly public opinion can flip. During the Wicked press tour, people praised Ariana and Cynthia for being supportive, emotional, and openly affectionate toward each other. Many fans even said it was refreshing to see two leading women lifting each other up instead of competing. But once the press cycle ended and the appearances stopped, that same behavior started getting re-examined.
Almost like the tag team, like whatever you need, let me know. Whatever I need, I'm going to let you know.
The two of you seem to cry a lot in interviews together. Sometimes holding hands, sometimes touching fingers.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's so interesting because we kept having this conversation. People are like, why are they always crying? Why are they always crying? And I think what people didn't see is that we were thrown into these interviews.
Clips that once looked heartfelt suddenly started getting labeled as awkward or overly dramatic by some viewers. The exact same moments people loved months ago were now being questioned. That shift says a lot about how quickly internet narratives can change. When a story is constantly in the spotlight, every detail feels meaningful. But when the spotlight moves away, the silence leaves room for speculation, and people begin creating their own explanations for what might have happened behind the scenes. And another thing that keeps the conversation going is how massive Wicked is as a project. This was not just a normal film release. It was one of the biggest musical adaptations in years, with a huge fan base already watching every single move. That kind of pressure can make every interaction between the stars feel more important than it actually is. When two lead actors spend months filming together, rehearsing music, doing press, and traveling around the world promoting the same project, they naturally end up spending an enormous amount of time side by side. That level of proximity can create very strong bonds in the moment. But once filming wraps and the promo cycle finally ends, everything changes. Suddenly, those same actors are focusing on different projects, different schedules, and completely different parts of their lives, which can naturally create distance even if there's no real conflict involved. At the same time, fans are still watching closely to see how both of them move going forward. Ariana has been slowly stepping back into her usual public image, appearing at major events, reconnecting with fans, and focusing on her music and film projects. Cynthia, on the other hand, continues building her reputation as a powerhouse performer on stage and screen. Her West End appearances and major film roles keep proving that she is one of the most respected voices in the industry right now. So even if their day-to-day friendship is not as visible anymore, both of them are still moving forward in very big ways. And sometimes that is what really happens after a huge project. Two people can share an intense moment in their careers, support each other through it, and then continue growing in their own directions once that chapter finally closes. And honestly, this situation shows how quickly fans build entire narratives around celebrity friendships. When people see repeated emotional moments, supportive interviews, and constant appearances together, it becomes easy to believe that the connection must run extremely deep behind the scenes. but public moments only show a small part of the full picture.
So fans are thinking that's where this drama kind of started stemming from. Cynthia Erivo calling Lena her sis, but being her girlfriend, and now Ariana Grande calling Cynthia Erivo her sister. Not her girlfriend, but holding hands during a press tour seems, a little intense. Now, during Variety's Actors on Actors, when Paul Mescal and Ariana Grande did an interview together, Paul Mescal said, "I've been watching you in the press tour," and Ariana Grande quickly responded, "Insufferable, yes." That moment became a meme on the internet. Everyone was posting it, including Lena Waithe. She literally posted that meme to her own Instagram story.
During a massive film rollout like Wicked, the cast spends months promoting the same project, answering the same questions, and appearing together almost every day. That kind of schedule naturally creates a sense of closeness that audiences get used to seeing. Once that schedule disappears, the visibility disappears too. So what looked like a constant friendship on camera may simply turn into occasional support from a distance. That does not always mean there was drama, tension, or some hidden fallout. Sometimes it just means the moment that brought two people together has passed, and life is pulling them in different directions again. What really keeps people talking, though, is the mystery of it all. There has been no big public fallout, no dramatic interview, and no direct statement saying anything went wrong between them. Instead, it is the quiet that has people curious. Fans remember the emotional interviews, the hand-holding, the way they constantly praised each other during the Wicked press run. Those moments were so visible that the sudden absence of them now feels noticeable. And when there is no clear explanation, the internet tends to fill that gap with its own theories. Some believe the friendship simply cooled off once the intense filming and promotion ended. Others still think there might be more to the story that the public never saw. But until either Ariana or Cynthia directly says something more about it, everything people are discussing right now remains speculation built from the outside looking in. And if there's one thing the internet loves, it's trying to solve a mystery that might not even have an answer. The moment fans notice a change in energy between celebrities, the theories start spreading fast. That's exactly what seems to have happened here. People went from celebrating Ariana and Cynthia's friendship during the Wicked rollout to suddenly questioning every little detail. Old clips, interviews, and red carpet moments are now being rewatched with a completely different perspective. Some viewers say the bond looked genuine and supportive. Others now believe parts of it may have been exaggerated by the massive promotional campaign around the film. The truth could honestly fall somewhere in the middle. Two performers can truly respect and support each other while also playing up that connection during press appearances, especially when they're leading one of the most talked about films of the year. For now, both Ariana and Cynthia seem focused on their own paths. Ariana continues balancing her music career with major film opportunities, while also making high-profile appearances that keep her firmly in the spotlight.
I think Cynthia Erivo is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. For sure. We don't get to see that very often. You look at, she's a part of the legacy of Wizard of Oz and The Wiz. I think of Judy Garland, I think of Diana Ross, I think of Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia is doing the same in her own lane, taking on powerful roles and continuing to build a reputation as one of the most versatile performers working today. Between stage performances, film projects, and major events, her schedule has been just as packed. When two people are moving at that speed in completely different directions, it's not surprising if they're not constantly seen together anymore. That doesn't automatically mean there was a falling out. Sometimes it simply means the chapter that brought them together is ended. The Wicked era created a moment where their lives and careers were closely connected, but now both of them are stepping into new phases that naturally pull their attention elsewhere. Now I really want to hear what you think about all of this. Do you believe Ariana and Cynthia's bond was completely genuine and it simply faded once the intense Wicked promotion ended? Or does it feel like the closeness we saw was amplified during the rollout, and once the camera stopped, the connection naturally disappeared? Because those are two very different possibilities, and the difference between them is huge. And then there's Lena Waithe's place in all of this. Some people believe her closeness to Cynthia adds another layer to the story. After all, fans usually don't start questioning something like this unless they notice a shift somewhere along the way. So now it's your turn to weigh in. Head down to the comments and let me know what you think. Was their friendship real, exaggerated for the spotlight, or maybe a mix of both? And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves celebrity deep dives like this. I'll see you in the next one.